All right. Hey, everyone. So today I'll be talking about chapter one, advertising, in my notes. So welcome again to Satiated Finance, meet in the middle, where I try to talk about ideas so that you don't take the extremes of too extreme in either way. So it's good to take the middle route, right? This topic is about advertising, okay? So what am I talking about? Just a bunch of collection of um, advertising related ideas. Okay, so let's start off with the first point, which is about casinos, right? So I watched this video. I mean, actually, it was from a YouTube channel called Jacob's Life in Vegas. And it was talking about how, you got these things called casinos, and they're super shiny. And they try to draw you in, and they're designed to take your money. Um, they're really shiny at night, okay, to attract the gamblers. And what you have is when you're inside of the casinos, you got the carpet and it looks extremely ugly, like these weird design patterns for the carpet. And it's so ugly that it makes you look up at what? At the slot machines, so that hopefully you can play the slot machine and, win, right? And that's their goal. They have non-ending jazz music that's playing, and they have no clocks, right? So because they don't have a clock, it means that you lose track of time. And they have a really complex floor pattern. So like the inside of it, it's really hard to tell where you are and it's hard to leave the building. So that's on casinos, designed to take your money. Second topic is on sports betting. It's from a YouTube channel called Spoken by Salman. And he was talking about how in sports betting, they try to lure you in. And sometimes they'll make you think that you want money. And so you just keep betting and you keep betting and you keep betting. And I guess you can get trapped, right? Another topic is about a hype product underwhelms and disappoints. And this is from a video called from CoffeeZilla, and he exposes the Rabbit R1. So if you don't know, Rabbit R1 is it was like a handheld ChatGPT type device. In theory, if you ask it to do something, it would do it for you, right? Like you say, "Hey, Rabbit R1, order me a pizza from Pizza Hut or something," and it would do it for you, supposedly, right? And CoffeeZilla was exposing it. There's another topic in advertising. This is a topic of urgency. Buy now or the deal runs out, and it's used a lot in digital marketing courses on YouTube, as well as courses on Udemy, right? On Udemy, they're always saying, "Hey, if you buy this course in the next hour, you get like an 80% off. But if you don't, then you're gonna have to pay full price." So they're always gonna do that to try to scare you, so that you buy now. There's another topic. This is called front-loaded limited coupons creating scarcity. So there's a movie called Sight. It's a 2023 movie. I think it's related to like eye doctors or something. I don't know. And it was promoted in this way on AdamTickets.com, where they front-loaded limited coupons where like if you had the coupon, you could watch the movie for free or for like a really low cost or something. And so a lot of people just scrambled to get those coupons, and they ran out. So if you were a little bit late, then you didn't get access to the coupon and you had to pay full price if you wanted to watch the film. Now let's talk about something else. This is on the topic of influencers. There's a YouTube channel called Rebel HQ. You can take a look, but basically what he says is that van life influencers, they work a job and they live in a van, right? So I don't know if you know, but living in a van really sucks. It's hard to go to the toilet. It's hard to take a shower. It's not that easy to cook. There's a lot of things that are a hassle about it, right? So what these influencers do is that they're basically homeless. They live in a van and then make van life videos where they pretend to be happy so that they can get money, um, so they can get enough money from their audience so that one day they can go get an apartment, right? So then what happens is they build an audience, they get to move to an actual building like an apartment, and then they need to continue making van life videos in order to keep the money flowing in, right? And van life is not that fun. So it's kind of a scam because they're trying to sell you on van life is great, but van life isn't great. This other topic is on minimalism. Same idea, right? The YouTubers hide away all their stuff while they film their minimalism YouTube videos, but actually they have a ton more stuff, right? You poke at the couch a little bit and everything behind it falls out, right? And so they're trying to present a fake image of what minimalism is, like in the ideal sense. But in reality, it's really hard to be minimalist. And so a lot of people were quitting minimalism. Um, it was a trend a while back. I'm not sure if minimalism today is that popular, but I know it was popular maybe a few years back. This last piece is about grading your own report card, also related to the topic of advertising and marketing. Okay, the first one is about government inflation report. So the government is always lying about the inflation report. They always say, hey, inflation is low. And then 1 month later, they say, oh, we made a mistake. Let's adjust it. So then they adjust it and correct their mistake. But most people don't see it, the adjustment. They just see the initial low inflation report that the government provided. So this is mentioned by Peter Schiff. So he says that government grades their own report card, which is kind of messed up. The second topic is about Fidelity's own index funds, which have zero expense ratio. Um, so what's going on here is that Fidelity is tries to create an index fund with zero expense ratio to draw people in, right? But the problem is um, uh, they want to save as much money as possible, right? So if they use the actual S&P 500, they're going to have to pay a licensing fee. So they don't use the S&P 500, right? They don't use the data from S&P 500, the organization. They're going to have to create their own like fake, like they're going to have to mimic the S&P 500. And when they try to do that, all right, what happens is that their zero expense ratio index fund, it has higher fund turnover than a real S&P 500 index fund. So a lot of those stocks inside of that Fidelity zero expense ratio index fund, it's just getting bought and sold and bought and sold. And ideally, if you're trying to do S&P 500 like index fund strategy, you want the turnover to be as low as possible, right? So that is a con to this to buying a Fidelity um, index fund with zero expense ratio. All right. That's it for this advertising chapter. Next time I'll talk about the next chapter.